Hey guys, so let's tackle lesson one of the Code.org Express course. This one is the dance party, and it's kind of a warm up lesson for what we'll be doing. The computer science standards for this assignment are we're going to create programs that use variables to store and modify data, and we're going to create programs that include sequences, events, loops, and conditionals. The essential question is, what is the connection between creativity and computer science? The entire lesson is on code.org, so make sure you're signed in on code.org with your school Google account. Your grade for this lesson will be based on your programming in the lesson on code.org. Watching the video is mandatory. Watch the video as you work your way through the lesson on code.org. Best practice is to watch me do a step in the video, pause the video, and then complete that step on code.org, and then repeat until you're finished. So let's go ahead and head over to code.org. So that lands me on my dashboard. If you're not already signed in, remember you can sign in by clicking sign in up here. Takes you to the login page. You'll click the continue with Google button, this big red button right here, to sign in with your school account. I, however, have a teacher portal account, so I'm going to sign in right there. Now, when you get logged in, you'll either see the Express course listed here, where you can click continue lesson, go directly in there that way, or you can go in by finding your section under your section listings. So both take you basically to the same place. So I can click continue lesson here. It'll drop me back at the end because I've already done this lesson. Or I can click, when this is where I probably want you to click, Express Course 2020. It takes you to this page where you can see the lessons you'll be doing. And when you get here, you'll want to just click on Bubble 1 to get started. And Bubble 1 is a video, so let's watch.
Hi, my name is Miral Kadvi, and I'm a dancer, software developer, and creator of Illuminate. Computer science relates to creativity in numerous ways, immeasurable, really. I mean, once you have the ability to write software, you can put ideas into anything. I do it with light suits. There's so much you can do once you have the tools to write software, and the possibilities are really endless. Over the next hour, you're going to get started with computer science by programming your own dance party. We've assembled some hit music and a team of great dancers for you to play with. You'll be using blocks of code to choose different dancers. Change your dance moves, make them respond to the music, and make them interactive. You'll see that your screen is split into three main parts. On the left is a play space. This is where your dancers will show up. The middle area is the toolbox. New blocks of code will be available in this space as you go through the lessons. The space to the right is the workspace. You can drag blocks out of the toolbox and into the workspace to build your program. The instructions for each level will be up here at the top of the screen. If you need a hint, just click the light bulb. To start off, let's make a new dancer with this red block. First, drag it out of the toolbox and snap it under this orange setup block. This dancer's a cat. You can also change where the dancer appears in your play space with this. Above the play space is the menu for picking out music. There are a ton of songs to choose from, so have fun finding your favorites. Under the play space is the run button. When you press run, you'll see the dancers from your program appear in the play space and the music will play. Try it yourself. And if you're feeling stuck, It's okay, just get up and get moving. And before you know it, you'll have made your own dance party. So, what will you create?
All right, so let's click this orange continue button, and that will put us on bubble 2. So on bubble 2, let's start over, make sure, yeah, there, good. So on bubble 2, we are going to drag the make a new cat at the center block into the workspace and connect it inside the setup block. Choose the cat or the sloth to create your first dancer. You can also click the light bulb to the left if you want more information or extra challenges. So let me make this space a little bigger so we can see everything. How do I pass this level? Make sure the dancer appears on the screen. This level will end after 4 measures. So, all right, so like she said, this is the display area. We can choose the songs we want it to play from here. We can make a new cat. This is our drawer or toolbox, and this is our workspace over here. So our toolbox has all of our block code that we want to use, and we want to drag it into our workspace. So we're going to go ahead. I am a cat person myself, so we're going to stick with cat. The sloth is the other option. And then you've got options here about where you want it to show up. I'm going to say center for now. Okay, cool. Continue. On to bubble 3. Next video.
My name is Erin, and I am a software engineer here at Code.org, and I helped build Dance Party. To make different dance moves happen at just the right time with the music, you can use something called events. An event tells your program to listen for something to happen and then react right away. Some examples of events are listening for a mouse click, an arrow button, or a tap on the screen. Here, you are going to program a dancer to perform a move when you press the arrow buttons on your screen or the keys on your keyboard. You can use the when up arrow event block and connect a do once block to it. When you press the up arrow key, the code attached to the when up arrow block is run. Which dance move will you choose? Make sure the type of dancer you choose matches one of the dancers you created inside the setup block, or you might not see anything happen. Eventually, you can create more events like this to make your dancers perform different moves with each key. Give it a try, and with a few lines of code, you can make your own interactive dance.
All right, let's move on to the next bubble. Okay, bubble 4 says, yeah, and just keeping in mind, if you put your cursor over this little line here, your cursor will turn into a double arrow. And when it does that, you can adjust how big your workspace is, how big the instruction panel is, so on and so forth. So we've got plenty of room to work with, so let's go ahead and make the instruction panel as big as possible. So this one says, when the when up press block lets you run code when you press the arrow buttons. Use the cats do clap once block to make the cat clap. Make sure to press your up arrow key or up over here after clicking the run button. All right, so let's start this over and let's see. So the setup for our background here, it's just going to make a new cat at the center, but I need to put a cats do clap once block under when up is pressed. All right, let's add another one. Why not? When down is pressed, let's make our cats do. Zombie sounds fun. All right, so I'm going to change this one also. Let's make them disco when I hit up, and when I hit down, they're going to zombie. And our cat's going to appear at the center. So let's try this. So cool, it worked. Let's continue. Bubble 5. And this is another thing, like this is a version history thing. You can start over. If you mess up, you want to make some changes, you want to start over again, hit that start over right there. It's like a undo button for everything. Okay. And this time the instructions say, it's time for a dance off. Program each dancer to move when you press different keys. Choose your favorite move for each dancer or set it to random for something totally unpredictable. So we've got our cat and we've got a bear. Our bears are going to do something random one time when the up key is pressed. Let's have our cats do something random when the down key or arrow is pressed over here. So let's do, yeah. And then obviously you're doing this on your own. You can get as creative as you want and choosing what moves you want them to do. Cool. So while that was going, I first started out by pressing the up and down arrows on the screen, and then I just started using the up and down arrows on my keyboard. So that's why you saw them moving without me clicking anything. Let's go on to bubble 6.
I'm Aloe Black. I'm a singer, songwriter, an entertainer. Well, I think computer science is really important to learn because computer science is the future. And I think it's important for people to be in control of the technology that is literally controlling their lives. The event we're going to use now will listen for a change in the song. The change will trigger your dancer to do a new dance. Professional dancers practice their choreography by counting the beats of the song. In music, a measure refers to a certain number of beats. In most popular songs, a measure is 4 beats long. To get your dancers to let loose, you'll need a green event block. This event block says, after 4 measures. If you drag out a purple do forever block, you can pick a dance for your dancer to do. Because it's under the after 4 measures event block, your dancer will wait for 4 measures of the song before starting their dance. Keep an eye on the measure counter at the top of the display area. Look and listen for the event that will trigger the dance code. And right on cue, our dancer starts going.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next bubble. All right, so this one says, let's get the dancers moving in time with the music. Connect the after 4 measures block to a sharks do this or that forever block from the toolbox. Your dancer should start a new move after the 4th measure. Measures are used to count time in music. In this tutorial, a measure is 4 beats long. So let's start over. All right, so we've got our after 4 measures block. Our setup is that a shark is going to appear at the center of the screen. So our toolbox already has a block that matches up. It says sharks, which matches up there. So I know that after 4 measures, my shark that appears at the center of the screen is going to start doing this or that forever. So let's try it.
Because it's over doesn't mean it's really over. And if I think it over, maybe you'll be coming over again. Enough to get over you all over again. Just because it's over doesn't mean it's really over. And if I think it over, maybe you'll be coming over again. Enough to get over you all over again.
Cool. That was simple enough. Let's move on to bubble 8. Okay, so it says now we're grooving. Add an after 6 measures block to your workspace. Okay, so we've already got an after 4 measures block there. And make the dancer start a new move after 6 measures. So he's going to start doing the floss, right? And frog, frogs, frogs, everything matches up. So 2 more measures later, let's have him do a star, whatever that is. Let's run.
Si el ritmo te lleva a mover la cabeza, ya empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. El mundo nos...
Cool. And I think it's worthwhile to mention here, I'm not actually choosing the music right now. I'm just letting it pick the music for me. So if you're wondering if this is Mr. Decker's music taste, no. Not at all. But, to each their own. So use this new block to set up a group of smaller backup dancers around a lead dancer in the middle. So, all right, we've got this new block. And now you can create a bunch of backup dancers all at once. So let's start this over. Okay. So right now in our setup, all we have is a background making ice cream ripple effects. Okay. So first we need to make a new dancer. And I kind of want him to be a pineapple. Why not? Okay. And then we need to use this new block. Snap that into the setup. And we're going to make 10 new, sloths. Why not? We'll put them in a diamond shape. And let's see what happens, right?
Vamos pa la playa, pa curarte el alma. Cierra la pantalla, abre la medalla. Todo el mar Caribe, viendo tu cintura, tú le coqueteas.
All right, so we got our backup dancers to show up. Let's move on to Bubble 10. Another video.
My name is Maria. I'm a junior at the University of Washington, and I'm an Amazon feature engineer. I love computer science because it incorporates problem solving and critical thinking. And after putting hours of work into something, you can get something really cool and rewarding out of it. So far, you've had a chance to play with some different types of dancers, and you've programmed them to do different types of dance moves. But how do these moves really work? Every dance move is made up of a series of images called frames. Each frame is slightly different from the one before it. When your program runs, the computer shows one frame after another. They're shown so fast that it looks like the dancer is moving. This is the secret behind all animation. Not only can you change a dancer's moves, you can also change a dancer's properties. Properties describe things like the dancer's position on the screen, the dancer's size, and the dancer's color. To change the properties of a dancer, you'll use a set block. Let's use a set block to make our dancers look smaller. First, drag the set block into your program. Then select a dancer you'd like to change and type in the size they will appear on screen. Full size is 100. If you choose a lower number, that will make the dancer smaller. The smaller the dancer is, the further away it looks. Using the set block, you can also change a dancer's dimensions, rotation, position, and color. By playing around with these properties, you can make all kinds of changes and link them to different parts of the song. Remember, you can only set the properties of a dancer that already exists. Make sure that your set block comes after the Make a New Dancer block. Feel free to experiment, be creative, and have fun.
Cool. All right, moving on. Next bubble, bubble 11. All right, moving right through this. Every dancer has a set of properties that controls what it looks like. Use the set size to whatever under a green event block to make dancers appear closer or farther away. So let's start this over. Okay. So right now we've got in our setup, set background effect, cool diamonds, make 6 new pineapples. Did I start that over correctly? Yeah, okay. Make 6 new pineapples in a row and make a new duck at the center. Okay, so after 4 measures, I want to set my pineapples to size, let's say 75. Remember it said that 100 is full size. And I want to set, after 4 measures, my duck to size 100. Cool. So what do they start out at? Okay, cool. And yeah, let's leave everything else the same because I really just want to test out the set size.
You gotta go and get angry at all of my honesty.
For some reason, my duck didn't get bigger than my pineapple. So let's change their size to like 60 instead. And we can also play with, let's also set the pineapples to do like a rotation thing. Let's see what happens when I do that. Oh, cool. All right, sweet. I'm happy with that. Let's continue to bubble 12. So starting this one over, cool. All right, dancers have a tint property that can add a layer of color. Try changing the tint of one of your dancers or an entire group. So, all right, so on this one, we've got unicorns and bears. All right, so let's change the tint. And if you're scrolling around in your toolbox over here, where your blocks are located, we can scroll up and down in here. So let's set the tint after 4 measures of the unicorn. Sure, we'll make the unicorn blue. And let's set the tint of our bears to purple. Why not? Let's see what happens.
We go together, better than birds of a feather, you and me. We change the weather, yeah, I'm feeling.
All right, cool. So let's take a look at this code, see what it did. So after 4 measures, we set the unicorn tint to blue. It did that. Bears should be purple. Sure. And then it added this background effect of electronic snow after 4 measures. So when it starts, it's just blank. When it gets to the 4th measure, it changes the background. The bears start doing a body roll and the unicorns start dabbing. And of course, you can change those if you want to also.
We go together, better than birds of a feather, you and me. We change the weather, yeah, I'm feeling.
Cool. All right, Bubble 13. Bubble 13, we get a new block. All right, so it says this new block is a special kind of event that is triggered over and over. Repeat every 2 measures. Okay, so it's like a loop. By placing the other new blocks in your toolbox inside the repeat block, you can repeatedly change the dancer's properties over time. Be creative and have fun. When you are done, press the finish button. All right, so let's start this over. All right, so we've got this repeat every 2 measures block. Did I? Yeah. In our setup, we've got a background effect that's going to be neon squiggles. Of course, you can change that. Let's change it. Electronic vintage. Let's see what vintage does. Vintage. Dun, 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 dun. Vintage hypno. Vintage snow. Vintage spiral. Vintage waves. That could be cool. All right. It's going to be 16 robots in here and a border, making a unicorn in the center. All right. Repeat every 2 measures. It's going to set a background effect of black and white. Let's change that to neon random. And then I'll do a random dance forever. Okay, so we should have robots and unicorns on here. Bunch of robots, 1 unicorn. All right, I kind of want to play with this one a little bit more. I want to see what happens if I add something. Let's see. So repeat every 2 measures. So let's make 5 new robots every 5 measures, and then I want to randomize the size of the robots. Whoop. Whoa, no. Get in there. There we go. Randomize the size of those robots. So there's going to be 5 new robots in a random position. Let's keep them in the border. Run. Cool. All right, so I'm going to click finish. Got to get a little bit creative with that one. Continue. Bubble 14. Okay, so you might have noticed while we're going through this, the diamond-shaped bubbles are map levels is what they're called. Those are going to have videos or text or something like that to teach you about the coding. And then the circles are ones where you're like in Game Lab or in the lab and actually working on your code.
Congratulations! You've just learned the basics of computer science. Now you can use these blocks to create a dance party of your own design to share with your friends. If you look in the toolbox, you'll find some brand new blocks that you haven't seen before. For instance, you can use the layout block to arrange the dancers in different ways on the screen. Have a look around and try experimenting with these new blocks and features. Will you create a carefully choreographed dance to your favorite song? Or a dance-off with your friends? Or something else altogether? At the end of the tutorial, you can share a link to your creation with your friends. Stretch your imagination and just have fun.
All right, so clicking that orange continue button is going to put you on the very last bubble where you get to be creative and come up with your own thing here. So you've got your workspace, you've got different blocks you can use here and pull into your workspace, event blocks, property blocks, dancer blocks, and world blocks. So use your creativity, use your spontaneity, use what you've learned so far about how to use JavaScript drag and drop coding to create what you want to create here. And your grade will be based on your completion of this, and I'll be dropping into your 15th bubble to see what you've created, and you'll receive a completion score based on that. So obviously, this is up to you. Your grade is going to be based on creativity, on your understanding of the blocks and how they work together, properties, the loops, the measures, and making it all work to create something over here that you really want to create. And obviously, right, you've got quite a list of songs to choose from, so have fun.